Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. Always, I have my co-hosts here. Hi ladies.
Hello.
YK in the building.
Hello.
YK is a little poorly today.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too well today. But because I didn't come yesterday, I said, don't take another day off. Yeah. They will say you're a very unserious person.
Your necklace is really nice. I like it.
Thank you very much.
Weird. Well, I like your makeup today. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was listening to Jumoke the other day when she was Anju saying about the youth should take over and form a youth movement. And I wanted to say, you know, it's not just about youth, it's about good leadership. Yeah. You can have youth and they're not good.
Yeah.
And because I want to remind everyone, Gawan, when he took over, he was 32.
Yeah.
Right.
Obasanjo was 38.
Yeah.
Muchala,
he was 27.
No, he wasn't 27. He was in his 30s too. I have it here.
27 or 37. One of them was 36.
No, he was 36.
Okay.
Muchala was 36. Buhari, when he was governor, was 33. And when he was president, he was 42. When he was head of state, he was 42 or 41. So they were actually young people. They just did not rule the country the way it should. Babangida was young.
My point in actually even saying that young people should take over is, you know, because they got into power when they were young. They made their mistakes. They learned their lessons. Now they feel like it's only them who can lead. Allow the young people come and make mistakes, and you be our elder statesmen that we come to for advice. Because the young people have age on their side.
I totally agree with you. I'm just saying it's not about just being
young. It's not age.
It's about knowing.
Yeah, well, I also feel that I think what part of what we're trying to advocate was that our don't do.
You don't do.
We're tired, really.
The same people
it's the same people that have been ruling. That is the problem. They have been there and they refuse to leave.
So anyway,
then they have trained their minions to be criminals like them. Who are, because young people are in the Senate. Young people, 40s, 40-year-old. How old is Dinomilai? They are young people.
Right. All right. So. Do you have any light news?
Well, it's not really, you know, but when I hear things like this, it actually saddens me. But I really believe that, honestly, we can't have young people right now based on the current situations of things happening. A lot of people have misplaced priorities. A lot of young people have misplaced priorities, because I'm trying to put together, what's it called, something that has to do with intellectual, chess, Scrabble and all that. And I realized that a lot of people are not even willing to fund those kind of projects anymore. Yes, they will rather fund the project that has to do with shaking your bum or something. So how do you even encourage the young people to begin to build their mind capacity? Build their intellect, you know, and see that there's something bigger than just shaking bum. So I think it's not just shaking bum. It's being a hip hopper. Yes, yes, hip hop. Yeah,
because she shakes bum. You know,
so I think it's deeper. If we want to take this movement up, it is going to stretch on all angles, not just politics.
Let's even start it. Join National Youth Movement on Twitter. Let's start it, and then all these discussions we'll have.
Yeah, I think even other young people also, the other movements, I think we should all just come together. Let's find out what other people are doing.
My own purpose is even to bring all those associations together
into one body,
so that the elders will now respect us when they see that we have the numbers,
one voice as well.
The capacity.
Yeah.
We need to, our mumu don't do as Charlie Boy said.
That's all.
All right, let's take a break. It's Thursday with discussing domestic violence all the way. But first, we look at the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're going to start with the Punch. Buratize alert. UK Ohaneze, ACF, PDP warned soldiers against coup. Military should deal early with politicking soldiers. Dangote, Adenuga, others can end poverty in Nigeria, says Oxfam. Senate to make NHIS compulsory for Nigerians to engage stakeholders. EFCC arraigns whistleblowers for giving false information. We're working to retain petrol at 145 naira, says Kachuku.
Well done.
Anger as Edo policemen handcuffed driver to patrol van. We didn't ask PDP members to defect, says McCarthy. Nigeria can't progress under current political system, says Tinubu. $43.3 million cash. I won't appear before you, Amifili tells reps. And Deleke, pathologist rules out poison. Family threatens to sue CMD. So let's take two stories. Let's take the Edo and then Tinubu story.
I have that Edo story because
Right.
I heard Jumoke talk about it yesterday. The story came out and someone was recounting what happened. They said this young man he has a taxi and the police stopped him. They wanted to search. They brought all of them down. They searched the driver, they searched the passengers, and they didn't find anything. Then all of a sudden, one of the policemen saw something on the floor and picked it, and it looked like marijuana. So they were now trying to arrest the passengers. They ran away and they caught the driver. They handcuffed the driver. So they started using their baton. They used their guns to hit him. So when he saw that, you know, there was no, there was no way out, he started screaming and asking for help. Meanwhile, somebody living around that area was already filming. So a young man, I think his name is Courage, now challenged the police and was saying that, why would you do this? Yeah.
His name is Chosen.
Is it Chosen? You know, challenged them and they handcuffed him. His brother came, why did you handcuff my brother? They handcuffed the brother, you know. So these policemen that did this act, they were all in mufti. So another patrol vehicle now came on the scene. They were all wearing the police uniform. They were now asking these other police people, why would they do that? Stop them and all that. But those ones would not have it. They left. Now, what even caught my attention in this story? The man that recorded the video, that posted the video online, police went to arrest the man. They detained him. He slept in the police cell. They arrested him on Sunday. They released him on, I think, on Monday. They now asked him to come back on Tuesday for his phone. When he went back on Tuesday for his phone, he's still, from the report, that he's still under detention. I don't understand why.
He's under detention. And when the journalist called the police station, the PPRO says, I don't think you are a trained journalist. Do you publish your stories before you balance it, or you balance before you publish?
Instead of them to look for the police people that perpetrated that evil, they are arresting somebody that is exposing the corruption inside the police system.
You see, yesterday, Nima was saying that it seemed like a mischievous video. Now the story has come out and people are rightly outraged. Before we run off, I'd like to quickly take Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech at the 91st anniversary of Daily Times newspaper, and Governor Rauf Aregbesola was representing him and saying that Nigeria cannot progress under the current political system. I'd like to quote him. He says, let us streamline governance, federalism in word and deed. Our constitution declares Nigeria a federation of 36 states. However, we still grapple with the vestiges of our past under the military rule. In any case, we still function like a military state despite the constitution. More power and resources need to devolve to the states. Last paragraph, he says, the fall in oil prices exposed this economic model for the life that it was. Now we must fashion a new political economy. In due course, the current recession will end. This should come as a relief. In itself, however, it is not a cause for celebration. Far from it. The end of recession does not mean the beginning of prosperity.
All right, he said quite a bit of this. It's an interesting article, but I think generally we just pay attention because Obanikoro is now friends with Tinubu. Kayoshe has removed all PDP logos. Tinubu is saying true federalism. A lot of political things are happening,
Right.
so we need
Please,
to pay attention.
Before you run off, Tinubu said Nigeria's unilateral political system only offered a deceptive and fake economic prosperity, which was exposed when the oil price slumped.
Fantastic. Moving on to the nation. So we are all speaking the same
English.
True federalism 2019. That's going to be the deciding factor for 2019.
Yeah. I like that she said that.
The nation.
Under military life.
Army Chief Buratai's claim sparks demand for probe. Ambode, while Lagos deserves the best. Pathologist Adeleke wasn't poisoned. And CBN releases list of items valid for Forex. So, should we talk Buratai now? Who read that story? I mean, they're just telling him that, I think it was Wike, saying that don't just say that the soldiers, the politicians are now coming to get soldiers, they're trying to act on political moves, that reprimand those whom you've investigated and show that they are
and remove soldiers from
Yeah.
politicians.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, yesterday.
Why are they using soldiers? This is a civilian regime.
Yeah, Berta yesterday was saying that some politicians were getting too close to the soldiers. Soldiers should stay away from politics. Wike is now saying, withdraw the soldiers from them in the first instance. That's all over the world. That is only the commander-in-chief that has soldiers attached to him. Rather than talking about getting close, just withdraw the soldiers, end of story.
And the pathologist has come to say that Adeleke wasn't poisoned.
Overdose. Drug overdose.
Talk about it yesterday.
And the family members are saying that they do not agree with this pathological results because that it should have released it to them when they asked for it.
And they're going to go to
court. So
court.
it seems a little compromised.
So they're likely to go to court. Okay, moving on to Vanguard. Senate gives NNPC, CBN, others 2 weeks to submit budgets. Federal government Oxfam on collision course over inequality, poverty in Nigeria. 45% Nigerians are hypertensive, says cardiologist. Lead pathologist testifies Adeleke died of drug overdose. Woman dies, church burnt in Ibadan, tanker fire.
I wish I read this for 10% Nigerians.
The Oxfam one.
Yes.
It says, very interesting, because they said only 5 Nigerians can cure the problem. Aliko,
poverty, Otedola,
Rabiu, Otedola, what's the other one's name? Adenuga. 5 of them like that can cure Nigeria's problems. There's 69% of poverty in the north and 49% in the south.
Federal government has said they don't agree with those results because they're saying that 112 million Nigerians are in abject poverty. They say that's not true. And they're also saying that it's unfair now. He said it's also unfair to these 5 businessmen to say that all their wealth put together is enough to take Nigeria out of poverty. It's not fair.
That is the definition.
You see,
of poverty.
Babangida had a wedding the other day.
Well, 33 private jets.
Private jets.
Yes.
What about Obasanjo and
I passed there because I went to NIA this thing dinner.
Yes.
See, Rolls Royce.
Do you know how much that hall alone? The hall alone, and then the decor alone was $1 million.
And you're telling me about poverty? You're telling me about certain Nigerians that the work is not distributed?
I want to make a statement.
Which legitimate?
Okay, let's not even go there.
For the fact that the government said that they don't agree with that result, it tells us that they are not even
ready to
hear. No, they are not aware of the true situations of the living conditions of Nigerians.
No, they are not even ready to hear and take the correction.
Okay, we're talking about the wedding, I think maybe later on Friday, because that wedding was we talked about.
33 private
we'll talk about that one later. Let's go on to Daily Sun.
Where some people don't have money for bicycle.
Where some people cannot eat. Why?
Daily Sun. Whistleblowers land in trouble. Docked in court for EFCC over false information. Oshibajo will sign the 2017 budget, says aid. Fanfare as Ambode commissions Abule Egba flyover bridge. Senator Adeleke died of drug overdose, talked about that. Another Chibok girl returns. Senate President gives ultimatum to the presidency to submit government agencies' budget and withdraw all soldiers from politicians, Wike tells Army Chief.
So the whistleblower quickly, before whistleblower, I want to quickly commend Governor Ambode. You know, he promised certain things and, you know, his delivery. Yes, delivering is important for us.
Would appreciate that bridge.
And guess what? One of our makeup artists that lives far away in Naija, she said it that she cannot believe that there wasn't traffic. Because, I mean, the basic things that we beg this our government. Just give us road, give us light, give us, you know, an enabling environment. And see how Nigerians would thrive.
It is 31% of our capital budget, capital expenditure.
60% of Lagos.
Governor Ambode, well done.
Like the federal government, that she shouldn't worry that the federal government is going to give us 30% of our budget.
We're still using the money.
Nigerians were not even asking for too much.
Just power and road alone.
And that is what Tinubu is saying from that article, that listen, we need, for us, the basic things like power, infrastructure, those are things that states should start doing. So we should, the fact that we generate electricity and we can't even sell.
Can you imagine? You have to transfer it to federal.
All those things that they're actually stopping the economic growth of our country.
Imagine Ambode waiting for federal to come and do that at Papa Port Road.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our final paper this morning, we know what's talking about whistleblower.
Because you don't blow whistle if you don't have information.
To go and say that Bahalawan had buried money, pounds and dollar. Can you go? EFCC going to go and get warrants when they are dug your compound. They didn't meet money. They don't pick them like this. Oh yeah. Now they were in court. They both are pleading not guilty.
Yes. So advice to whistleblowers.
didn't use
If you are not
advertising
sure, please don't go and blow whistle. And get an authentic fact. Let your pastor go and put on that whistle. Without blowing
Let me
it.
tell you what could have happened. They could have seen it. Somebody had seen them,
And
and they told them,
blow the whistle.
go on, pack your money. Move that money quickly, oh.
They have to
Yeah,
go.
it was inside.
They have to go. So please, whistleblowers,
Whistleblowing
as
a source of
excited
income.
as we are about whistleblowing, please don't go and blow wrong whistle.
Get anointed whistles.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we go back to domestic violence. Messi Aigbe has been trending since last week or 2 weeks now. So we're bringing in Lanre Olusola to break it down. It's because the issue of blaming the victim is prevalent in our society. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Domestic violence has been on the front burner after Nollywood actress Mercy Aigbe and a few others shared their experiences during domestic violence. Now, in most cases, the victim is always blamed, and the question, what did you do to cause this man to beat you? That comes up all the time.
All the time.
It has also stirred controversy with people asking the question, that same question all the time. So how do we control the situation before it gets to the point where the partner is physically abused? How do you handle these abuses? Is walking away from an abusive marriage always the solution? You can call us on 07070806680. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view. We have with us Lanre Olusola in the building. He's a family therapist. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you, Lanre.
It's always nice to be here.
May I quickly say that I'm very excited that he's here because I went to the family conference on Monday and I just wanted to breeze in and breeze out. I stayed till the end. It was fantastic because, you know, the things I heard, you know, I had a changed mindset. And the reason we're talking about this is people always believe that, if he's beating you, just leave. Like it's your only solution. But I had several other solutions on Monday. Like, if it is a solution at all, it should be the last resort. That's why we're discussing this today.
Okay, so now, the issue, I mean, we've had so many, I mean, Mercy Aigbe was a case in point last week. But
we had to
there are issues of, we know the physical part of it, the mental part of it. But our focus today is the cause. What gets you to that point where you're being abused? What did you do to put yourself in that position? And how do we take yourself out of that situation where you don't provoke your spouse, male or female, to physically harm you? That's where we want you to come in.
Wow. I mean, this is a very, very serious issue that is close to my heart. I mean, family, marriage, that relationship between two people that is supposed to be blissful, that is supposed to help you attain your higher self. So when you get to a situation where abuse gets into it, it breaks my heart. Now, the first thing I'd like to say is that there is absolutely nothing that anyone should do that should cause you to abuse them.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. And this is how I'm going to break it down. So imagine you had a female boss that is younger than you, that abuses you in the office. She speaks down at you. Are you going to slap her?
No, you
take the frustration home.
Do you
I'll go
understand?
and punch your wife.
Now, the question is this. The question is this. Why won't you slap her? It's because there are consequences to your action.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So the situation at home, if you place consequences to it, and you put weight on the consequences, you will not do it.
True.
Because, look, you are annoyed at home, in the office. Your boss irritates you. Even your subordinates will irritate you. Do you slap them? They will sack you now.
Yes.
But who puts that consequence in your home? Is it you or, I mean, how?
Or religion?
Because in your office, it's your boss or the
policy, the
policy.
company policy.
Okay, so there's a constitution in the office. Okay. You know, you have a value system.
Yes.
You know, you have a reward and a punishment system
Yes.
in the office. Any family that doesn't have a constitution, they don't have values, they don't have beliefs that they are commonly accountable to. They don't have people that they are accountable to. It will happen. So we're saying that, look, the institution of marriage is not an institution that you just get into anyhow. It's not an institution that you should take lightly. Because we're talking about two different people with two different backgrounds, two different experiences in their past and ideologies and values and beliefs coming together. The natural result will be conflict. And there are different ways that people resolve conflicts. So if you saw your father resolve his conflict with his wife that way, by beating her, that's all you know. It doesn't make it right, but that's all you know. Now, I often say that there are three victims in every domestic violence situation. The abuser is a victim. The abused is a victim. The witnesses are victims. So the abuser must have seen it somewhere, learnt it somewhere, and imbibed it subconsciously. Right. In fact, a lot of abusers say to themselves, I am not going to be like my father. Now, they don't understand how the subconscious mind works. The subconscious mind does not take negative instructions. I don't want to be like my father. The subconscious mind deletes the don't.
So I want to be like
so
my father.
The rest of the instruction you get is I want to be like my father. So it's about what you want. I want to be a man that loves his wife. I want to be a man that honors his wife. I want to be a man that respects his wife. I want to be a man that cherishes and nurtures his wife. That's the instruction that you're supposed to be saying to yourself. That's the very first thing. The second thing is the abuser now that is abusing his wife, who is a victim, in the presence of their children, the children will become victims. In their latter years, they will also abuse.
Wow. It's a vicious circle.
It is a cycle that never ends. So the question in terms of consequences are these. What kind of children do you want to groom? What kind of example are you leaving for your children? Do you understand what kind of trauma, the children will suffer? I had a guy come on my show a few weeks ago, and his father and his mother, they were in a very, very toxic relationship. His father beat up his mom to the point where she bled severally. And this kid, at age 6, at age 7, right, recalling, realized that he never wanted to go back home.
Wow.
Because every time he gets home, there will be blood on the floor.
Wow.
Now, this guy suppressed this thing for many years. Suppressed the memory, suppressed it, until a few months ago, he was sitting watching TV in his house, and he heard a scream. And that scream opened up his memories. And he couldn't stop crying for weeks.
Wow.
Now, there was a trigger that activated that memory.
Yeah.
And all of those memories and all of those feelings started flooding back. He couldn't stop. Now, this is a 35-year-old guy. He couldn't stop weeping for weeks. So I invited him on the show to come and talk about it. And that's where the healing started for him. And that's where we started therapy with him. Because he was detached, he was insular, he was, his personality had become that person that is withdrawn.
Lanre, I'm very guilty of asking, what did you do? My religious background, I believe that God hates divorce. So rather than just telling everybody divorce is the solution, I'd rather look at the other side, that there is a equal and opposite reaction to every action. So you must have done something to be slapped, right? So I say to women, let's also temper our words, Let us be soft in our words. So can we go to the foundation of that? That as much as we're coming from different backgrounds and different makeups. Women talk. Men are physical. What do we need to do as women first, not to even get into that space to trigger anything in a man?
I mean, look, it is written that it is easier to live on the corner of a rooftop than in a house with a contentious woman.
True.
It is tough. But the truth of the matter is, when you were dating, you saw it now.
Yeah.
And it is at that point.
Oh, were you blinded?
You know, love is blind.
You
But marriage opens the eyes.
No, but some don't become contentious till they enter the house.
Yes.
So I'm going to
Before
break
they
it.
enter the house, they will be pretending, they will be cooking. When they enter the house, they say, "Were, oh, go wale ni kilo share." But
Now me say you don't enter one chance. You know, but in all honesty, right? If you see people's relationships with other people, you will tell. So at that point when you're dating is when you're supposed to judge someone's character and determine, you know, and talk about all these things and set down your guidelines and your rules in your marriage. However, if you don't do that, you get into a marriage and you marry a wife that talks.
Yeah, so
That talks.
women talk.
You need to get help for her.
Really? I mean, talking is part of our pastime. I mean, what do you
Women
mean?
talk, oh.
Yeah, we talk, but you see, listen, let's get real.
So if you tell me, oh, I love you, I miss you, and that's the talk that you're talking.
No, it's not that
Would
kind of
anybody
talk.
beat you?
No.
That's not what I'm talking about.
So you're saying that
Yeah.
women can actually do provoke men. Is that what you're saying? Do you agree with that
Everybody provokes everybody.
Yeah.
So let's not. Do you know that there are some women that beat their husband?
yes.
Because their husbands are not doing certain things they're supposed to do. Right. Look, the natural result when two people come together is conflict. How you react or respond in conflict situations is dependent on how mature or immature you are. Right? Now, also, what triggers the conflict is determined by how mature or immature you are. So let's not. Do you know that there are some women that beat their husband?
Yes.
Because their husbands are not doing certain things they're supposed to do. Right. Look, the natural result when two people come together is conflict. How you react or respond in conflict situations is dependent on how mature or immature you are. Right? Now, also, what triggers the conflict is determined by how mature or immature you are. Sometimes we put Oyibo on it, we call it emotional intelligence, but the actual sense of it is maturity, and maturity is not a function of age. It's a function of discipline. It's a function of, you know, self-regulation. It's a function of empathy and respect for self and respecting other people.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, welcome back. So, you had a question?
Yeah, because, you know, we're talking about consequences, and most times, from my own experience with domestic violence, a lot of times the woman, after that maybe initial 30 minutes of facing the beating, by the next 2 hours when you see the woman, she's, you know, she's, because our nature, we're built to love and forgive no matter what. True. That's how I believe women are. So the woman forgets. So how do we now enforce? Because I know, thankfully in Lagos, there are laws against domestic violence.
Yeah.
So how do we even enforce those consequences? Because if a man slaps me today, there's every likelihood that I won't even talk about it. I'll just, you know, move on with it. And it continues like that because the man is trying how much you can take. True. And if he tries slap today, you didn't say anything, tomorrow you will try blow. Yes. Next tomorrow it is knock your head on the wall. It continues like that. So is it that we should start educating or training children around,
or women,
or people around, you know, if you see it, even if the person does not see it as abuse, can people just on their behalf report, save the case?
I mean,
how do we save the case?
I think there's several things, right? There are two things that create leverage, pain or pleasure. So let's talk about the pain aspect of it. The pain aspect of it are the consequences. What is government doing? What is the police doing? What are the neighbors doing? What's the family doing? What's the person that has been abused? What do they do? So let me come back to the person that is being abused, right? What I've found out is that, you know, they don't look at the long-term goal. Now, as a person in the marriage, the long-term goal is I want to create a safe environment for myself, my husband, and my children, or myself, my wife, and my children. If that's your long-term goal, then you need to ask yourself, okay, in this given situation, right, there's a lack of safety.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to ensure that my long-term goal is achievable? A lot of women that are abused don't think about it from that perspective.
You just think, oh, if I leave him.
So, in terms of addressing that, right, the tactical thing to do is to let the law take its course. Because if they punish him and deal with him, he knows the consequences of if he does it the next time.
True, very true, sir.
But she's short-term
still married?
focused. Yes, she's short-term focused. And says, I am Mrs. So. And so she doesn't even have a healthy self-esteem because she doesn't see herself
Outside of the marriage.
outside as a person, whole, outside of Mrs.
Somebody.
But you know what? There's life beyond Mrs. There's life beyond, you know, that decision that you have made. Let the law
Well, take its course.
take
Which is probably
its
what
course.
Messia Igbe is doing, because her husband is still in prison.
But
And
do
she
you stay married
went
when you-
she went to the
your
Ministry
husband-
of, according to her, she went to the Ministry of Women Affairs, and they took the case up,
The
and the
Office of
case
the
is in court.
Public
So I'm
Defender.
happy that she's following through so far. However, you've said that there are a lot of women that, yes, they start the process, but after a while, they say
back
they
out.
forgive
They're the
forgive
one
their
that
husband,
withdraw the-
and they withdraw the case. But even before we get to that point, women in marriage, and you know your husband has a temper, you know your husband has, you know, he has that short
can
fuse.
flip.
How would you, do we keep wagging on eggshells around our spouses, or do we confront the issue head on, say, okay, you have anger problems, let's find a way to resolve it? Or how do we have a successful marriage in that kind of situation?
There are two things. There are two things, right? I don't think there's any mad woman. Something must have provoked her.
Right?
So it's not as if she woke up and said, man, my husband will provoke him today. Something triggered it now. So, number one, she's got to be self-aware.
Okay.
She's got to be able to master her emotions
Okay.
and her reactions. Now, the husband we beat is not even because most of the time is what she said. It triggered something else. So maybe they cut his salary in the office. And he gets home and his wife is asking him, darling, there's no diesel. You know, that's the first thing she asked. It's not because she asked for diesel money that you are beating her. It's because of what they did in the office. So it's called transferred aggression. So both of them, right, are guilty of the wife that, you know, can't manage her own issues. Something else is
Lacks
bothering
emotional
her.
intelligence.
And then she's yaki, and provokes the husband who is being provoked from somewhere else. Both of them are combustible. What we need to do is to give them emotional intelligence classes. Because look, 85% of all success in life, in marriage, is dependent on how emotionally intelligent you are. That's why we have seen people with high IQ, CEOs, wealthy people, rich people, descend to that level of animal instincts and beat people. It's not about IQ. It's about EQ, how emotionally intelligent you are.
Wow.
Now, so when we are talking about solutions, right, we have identified this as a major problem. And because of that, we've started organizing emotional intelligence classes.
Premarital, right?
Premarital,
In
while
marriage,
married,
yes.
and, you know,
Even after separation.
even during separation.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If this couple get married and then all of a sudden, just as a one-off, the man beats his wife, do you think at that point he should go and report, or she should go and report, or they should go for classes or counseling?
Before you answer that question, let me take this. Moji's been holding for a while. Moji, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good morning, Mariah.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I have contribution to this
Topic.
domestic violence concerning women.
Yes.
I can remember when I was a copper in Abuja, I had a friend. She used to say that she would prefer to marry a very rich guy that will beat her in the morning, come back in the night, and give her $10,000 to go and treat herself, than to to marry a guy that doesn't have anything that she will want to see. So we have a lot of girls outside that they don't want to even marry a poor guy. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And I myself, I marry an average guy because my first boyfriend, the very day he slapped me was the very last day we separated. So if a woman can have it in their mind that the very day you slap me, definitely according to what the other person in blue, Uwa, I don't know what she said. If you slap a woman one day, the guy is trying you. The second day, the guy will beat you, and the next day, the violence continues.
Increase gradually.
So, if a guy can beat me or give me a slap for a day, definitely that marriage or that friendship or whatever will not work. So, excuse me, madam. So, I want Messi Aide to have it at the back of her mind that her son is Omo Babelewo, either she likes it or not. That son, I know Nigeria very well. We are Africans. In future, they will name that boy as Omo Babelewo.
I'll address what she's saying.
Thank you very much, Moji.
You know that Betty Rabo told us a story like that also, that she was saying to a woman who was suffering domestic violence, that why haven't you separated yourself from the marriage? And the woman said to her, and leave all of this meaning the husband's wealth. You know, and our producer was saying, if you die, you will leave all of this eventually. No, but even this Moji is now also saying that Mercy Aigbe should realize that her child, for Lanre Gentry, will forever be known as the child of a convict.
As opposed to her being in the marriage where she's beaten up and she dies.
Do you understand?
I mean, come on,
so
man.
how do we resolve
So
that?
that's why I asked that question. That's why I asked that question.
Is it the first time that you report?
Is it the first time you report to the police or whoever?
Or go for counseling?
Go for counseling.
You know, there are different ways to manage this situation. The personality of the person, right, the beater, should be taken into consideration.
Okay.
Now, there are some people that, you know, the weight of the consequence should be much heavier when it's the first time, so that they will never repeat it again. There are some people that is empathy and professional, you know, consultation that they need. Now,
how do you differentiate?
Fantastic. Now, so you would have been seeing that this guy, if you give him 1 inch,
He will take a mile.
he will take a mile. That kind of a guy, it is the heavyweight too. And you know that this guy, when he comes to his senses, he's remorseful, he's sorry, and he never does it again. You know, and that's why those kind of people, right, excuse me, they have to find in their marriage someone that they can be accountable to. Look, anybody that doesn't have people that can talk to them, that they fear, honor, and respect, forget it.
Larry, I want to go
problem.
to what Moji said, because that is a real culture issue we have, where people, I don't want my child to be called Omo Babelewo. So because of that, you stay in that marriage, which is what Mercy, according to the video, said she didn't want anybody to say she's a role model and she wanted to just have a home. There's that cultural view of you're a woman is respected married, because you're married. So that now, so from what she's saying, that if my husband is beating me, don't let the justice take its course. Don't let the law take its course, because I don't want my children to grow up to be known as Omo Babelewo. Is that enough justification
to stay,
to withdraw your case against your husband, or to stay in a domestic violence marriage?
There are consequences to every action. So number one, you don't want to have that label.
Right.
But guess what? If it continues, your children will be destroyed. Is that what you want?
That same child you're trying to
That
protect.
same child that you're trying to protect, psychologically, that child is destroyed. So wait. The next thing is you, right, may be killed.
And when you die,
that child
will still be destroyed.
Will still be destroyed. So look, you have to weigh
your choices.
Your choices.
Ismail is there. I'll come to you. Ismail has been holding. Ismail, are you still there? Ismail? Sorry for that.
You know, because before we run off, because we're going on a break, finance is a major issue.
Yes, so.
Economic independence.
Yes. And in this case, you know, it's two cases.
Yes.
What you said about Betty Rebo, the man is wealthy.
Yes.
And she will endure the beating.
Yes.
It is worse. The beating is worse when the man doesn't have money.
And she's the one that is rich.
And she's the one fending for the home. Every time she's a threat to that man. How do men that maybe were economically empowered before, they've suddenly lost their economic balance, and they are seeing that the wife is thriving in the home,
Fantastic.
taking the home.
It's a great
How do
question.
they manage their emotions?
And how does the wife
God bless
manage
He's
such a
a man.
situation?
So
Stay with us. No, we have to go on a break. I guess it. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So that question we asked, how does a woman actually, in a situation where your husband is not financially stable, how does a man handle his
own
emotion
ego?
And his own ego, and then how does a woman manage
Such a man.
such a man?
You know, this is quite interesting because Warren Buffett, consistently one of the top 3 richest men in the world over the last 4 decades, made a profound statement. He says that it takes 25 years to build a good name and a good brand, but 5 minutes of emotional recklessness to destroy it.
True.
Secondly, he said that a person that cannot manage his emotions cannot manage his money. So the reason why, you know, a man that has financial challenges comes home and takes it out on his wife will do that is because he lacks emotional intelligence.
Still comes back to
He lacks maturity. He worships money. Money is his master and he's a slave to money. He needs to go and deal with that. The reason why he lives, he moves and has his being is money. So you are serving money. You are a slave to money. That's why you are reacting because you don't have money like you had before. Are you going to take that money to heaven? Now, at your deathbed, you're not going to be saying to yourself, I wish I made more money. You're going to be saying to yourself, I wish I gave time to my family. I wish, you know, I made more impact in life. Those are the things that people regret. I wish I spent quality time with my wife. I wish, you know, it's not about, I wish I made more money. People need to change their priorities.
I wish I'd gone to the hospital in time.
So, but also I want to address this thing about women marrying things. Look, we have moved into a generation where people don't marry people anymore. People marry Range Rover. People marry wristwatch. People marry dresses. So if the wristwatch is no longer there, then the object that you're married to is no longer there. It's not the person that you fell in love with. It's her hair.
Or her sexiness.
Her yellowness.
Her yellowness. What if, you know, she gets cancer tomorrow?
Oh, her blackness.
And she's dark. Oh, you marry her because she has figure 8.
Yes, sir.
All of that will change now.
After 2 children.
You know, so people are marrying for the wrong reasons. You marry the man for the wrong reasons, so you do not see his traits.
You begin to react.
You don't address the issues. Even Christians, I am burning, I'm burning. I'm burning, I'm burning. I have to go and marry. Oh, I want to have sex. I have to, and I don't want to commit adultery or fornication. I go and marry. You don't know the person. So you're marrying because of sex. You go tire. Because this sex, you go do and tire.
Yeah.
Hitting the nail on
Oh,
the head.
pause. I have a call. Sagios or something like that. Are you there? I couldn't hear your name. Hello?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yes,
I have to read it.
yes, I really want your guest to address this issue,
Yes.
which he just made mention of now. Yes, some women marry things, not their husband. But
Right.
what of in a situation where a man is honestly married to a wife who in turn married a thing and not the husband. Because there are situations where a lot of men don't want to go home. They just have a house, they don't have a home because of the attitude and the materialistic nature of the woman in the house. How does a man control and hold his emotions in a situation like this?
Thank you very much.
Sorry, before he answers that question, I have a question I want to add to that. When can you differentiate between a woman that is termed materialistic and a woman that wants a better life for herself and her family?
There's a thin line.
Because a lot of times men misunderstand women when they're trying to project that I want quality this, I want quality that. They term it to be materialism.
I want a better life for
a
our
better
family.
life for our family is not materialism, please. Because this question came up yesterday and I really had a head-on collision with somebody.
All right. It's when you are dating that you will know.
Okay.
If it is all about give me, give me, give me, give me, I want this, I want that, and if you don't make it available, she snaps. She's off. She's talking to other guys, right, and asking for the same thing. It's different from, you know what, I have a goal in life to be wealthy and rich, and I'm working hard towards it. And myself, you know, I'm doing this business, I'm doing that business, and I'm saving money, I'm investing money, and I'm getting assets.
Yes.
They're two completely different people.
Very
This one wants a new phone. She can't afford it. But she has a good phone that she's using, that is still working. So she's asking this one for phone, asking that one for phone, asking that one for phone.
But with Sadios, what Sadios is saying, I want you to address Sadios on that.
You see,
you're in that marriage.
Sadios don't enter one chance. There are only two things you can do. You continue to feed that habit because that's what you married. What were you looking at?
Before marriage.
Before marriage.
Okay, that brings me to this tweet by architect Kayode. He says, true, but the person, if the person is a snake and hiding for long, how would you know? Some people can pretend for 5 years, especially Yoruba girls. This is text, this is tweets that I'm reading.
Look, the truth of the matter is, even me, I don't know myself fully.
That's true.
Right? And I'm being revealed to myself
On a daily
on
basis.
a daily basis. There's some things that I react to or do that I'm wondering,
where did
really,
that come from?
it's still there. You know? And so we need to be fair. Some people pretend, some people don't know that aspect of themselves, right? But the truth of the matter is, number one, if you know that you made a mistake, but your values are such that, you know what, you want to keep your marriage and your home, the first thing is you continue to feed that habit and then you get help for the person. You know, you've got to be able to get the person to see someone that can work with them to address that issue and get them to, you know, change those beliefs, because those beliefs must have come from something in their past.
Let's see some tweets.
Adebayo says, our egos get in our way and we tend to overcome it, hence a broken marriage is the result. Gabriel says, if you're infuriated against your partner for being broke, you never had the integrity for relationships. Tariq Rule says, shouldn't women share a mini portion of the blame? Kayode says, and also open your eyes to early signs in marriage. People become their real selves when they marry. Miss Ara says, who says dating a guy for so many years makes you discover his true self? Let mothers train their sons well, and ladies, pray.
All right, we need to round up. Yes, Spike, you want to say something? Take one?
Yeah, Brian says, actions and reactions are equal and opposite. Can two work together except they agree? Define a relationship from
All right, Larry, I want you to just round up, finally, because I know one of the key things you said today is emotional intelligence for both parties is key. But just give us something to go home with concerning
Especially how women need to deal with the situation.
All right, so women, right, you know, it's important that you note that you are very instrumental and very critical to the sanity of your home. It takes two mad people to create world war. If one person is sane, right, oftentimes you've mitigated the risk of, you know, danger in your environment. Now, I've had situations with women that they are the ones that come for therapy. And because they change, the home changes. Now, oftentimes, it's impossible to demand change or to expect change when you do not change.
Yes.
It was Mahatma Gandhi that says that you must become the change that you seek in other people. So we can cast aspersions, we can blame the other person, but the truth of the matter is that it takes two people. So you've got to create a goal and a constitution in your home that we want to live in a peaceful, harmonious home.
Right.
And please, it's important to recognize that friendship is key. People, when they are dating, they are friends. When they marry, they become husband and wife, and they switch to roles, and they are detached from each other. They no longer have empathy for one another. There is no friendship, right? You must go back to that fundamental principle and become best of friends.
Fantastic. I think you can round up with that. Thank you very much. Oh, goodness. We love it when Lanre comes around. You know, just to get information.
We love you.
That's all we can take. But one of the things I want us to run up with is the subconscious mind. You said it earlier. Very, very key. Of that negative, drops the negative. We need to really address that because, I mean, I've been going to a prayer meeting recently and everybody is saying, poverty is not my portion.
You'll be poor.
You'll be poor. Because that knot is there.
Yeah.
You just have to confess positive.
And,
say, I will be rich.
And that's why it is written. Let the poor say I'm rich.
Yes.
Let the weak say I'm strong. Let the sick say I'm healed.
All right, we got to go. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.